John Smith was a soldier and adventurer. In 1606, he joined the Virginia Company. It was a joint stock company which allowed investors to pool their wealth to fund a colony. In 1607, the Virginia Company sent 150 colonists aboard 3 ships to North America. The colonists built a settlement along the coast of modern-day Virginia. They called the colony Jamestown in honor of King James I. It was the first permanent English colony in the Americas. Many English colonists wanted to get rich quick by finding gold. They did not take time to grow food. As a result, many colonists at Jamestown died. By the winter of 1607, only 39 colonists remained alive. Then John Smith took control of the settlement. He forced the colonists to farm. He received help from the Powhatan inhabitants of the area, who offered the colonists food. Under Smith's leadership, the colony slowly recovered. An injury forced Smith to return to England. After he left, the settlement grew disorganized. Again, many colonists starved to death. The colony was saved when more colonists and supplies arrived from England. The new settlers restored order to Jamestown. They also began to grow tobacco. The colonists discovered that they could sell this crop in Europe for a great profit. The colony needed more settlers to grow more tobacco. To lure more settlers to Jamestown, the Virginia Company started the headright system in 1618. Under this system, each new person who came to the colony received 50 acres of land and another 50 acres of each family member who came. Most of the people who arrived, however, did not come under the headright system. Most came as indentured servants. In exchange for passage to North America, as well as food and shelter, an indentured servant agreed to work on a farm for several years. After that time, the indentured servant would be free. Most indentured servants were poor English citizens in search of a new life. In 1619, the first Africans arrived in North America. They were treated as indentured servants. After several years of labor, they gained their freedom. In the decades to come, more and more Africans would arrive in North America, not as indentured servants, but as slaves. Unlike the Spanish, English settlers had no desire to live among or intermarry with Native Americans. Instead, they struggled to drive the Native Americans away. As Jamestown grew, the colony needed more land for farming. As a result, the English settlers seized Powhatan land. In 1622, the Native Americans fought back. They attacked numerous colonial villages. More than 340 colonists were killed. The Native American attack forced the Virginia Company to send in more troops and supplies. This left the company nearly bankrupt. The turmoil in Virginia angered the English government. As a result, the king took over the colony from the Virginia Company. Virginia became a royal colony, a colony under the control of the king. England sent in more settlers to strengthen the colony. The government also sent in more troops to conquer the Native Americans. By 1644, nearly 10,000 English settlers lived in Virginia. The native population continued to decrease. In addition to fighting Native Americans, the English settlers fought among themselves. Wealthy landowners controlled life in the colony. Freed indentured servants had little money to buy land. Because they did not own land, they could not vote and had almost no rights. They were forced to live on the western edge of Virginia. Out there, they constantly fought with the Native Americans for land. Virginia's government refused to help these poor settlers in their battles with Native Americans. Nathaniel Bacon, a wealthy planter, came to the settlers' rescue. He raised an army to fight the Native Americans. The governor of Virginia declared that army illegal. When Bacon heard this, he led a group of marchers into Jamestown. They protested the government's treatment of poor settlers. The march turned violent. The government eventually put down the rebellion.